Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the channel again. And as you know, currently we are doing the 40 days UGC NET SPRINT, and this is our second day. And in the second day, we are supposed to do the literary sources. And as you know, we already discussed about the archaeological sources in the last lecture. And I told you that I'll be sharing that PDF and that PPT in that group. So if you have not joined our WhatsApp group and our Telegram channel, I'll be putting the links in the description, so you can just go there and follow the channel, and also you can join the WhatsApp group. So the today's lecture is going to be all about the literary sources, and in the last lecture I discussed about some of the aspects. It's me, you can see, like I have just experimented it, and you can just see it. I'm not going to explain. Yeah. So in the last lecture we discussed all about these things. And in this lecture we are going to discuss the literary sources. And in the literary sources, apart from we include that inscriptions in the archaeological sources, but literary sources we consider the textbooks and the other written sources on palm leaf and on other things. So we divide it into two categories. Actually, this is my own classification, you can have your own, and for my convenience I have classified into Brahminical and non-Brahminical. You can see here Brahminical and non-Brahminical. So in the Brahminical text, those texts who are related to the Brahminical fold and they're related to the philosophies of the Brahmanas. These include the Vedas. You might be aware of these things, so we are not going to explain it. So like 4 types of Vedas and all. The most special thing you need to know about Vedas is the third Veda. Deals with the Aryan and non-Aryan assimilation. You already know that this particular text belongs to the later phase of the Vedic period, and thus this shows the assimilation of Aryan and non-Aryan culture. So this thing you need to know, and this thing you need to remember whenever you are just see a little bit of understanding is needed. So if you are having an understanding in a holistic way, you can reach to the correct option. So this is why it is important to understand things. The second category of literature are Brahmanas, and you might have heard about Shakpat Brahmana, and we find a lot of references of that text. So the Brahmanas are all about the cults and rituals. So how the people were supposed to practice cults and rituals in those ages. Apart from that, we have 6 Vedangas as well, and these 6 Vedangas are Shiksha, Kalpa or Kalp, whatever you pronounce it, Jyotish or Jyotishya, Nirukta, Vyakarna or grammar, or Chand. So these are the Vedangas, and these were written later on. Apart from that, we have some Smritis as well from post-Mauryan and Gupta age, and these actually give information about the post-modern political and the social developments and the Gupta age dynamics. Apart from that, we have 18 Puranas as well. You might have heard about some of the names of the Puranas, like Vishnu Puranas, and like that. We have 18 of it, and these Puranas actually deal with the chronology of kings. So whether it is mythological or not, but these Puranas actually deal with the chronology of kings, and these sets of a hierarchy. So because of this, many historians do not consider Brahminical literature as one of the most reliable sources, but still, for the consideration of social structure and cultural practices, it is very important to consider these sources. In the second thing, which we have categorized into non-Brahminical text and or the non-Brahminical sources, we have a number of type of literature, and these literature are of Buddhist nature, Jaina nature. Like the main subject of those literature are either Buddhist, Jaina, secular literature, Tamil literature, foreign accounts. So because of these things, we just divide this non-Brahminical text into several categories. Okay, so this was my own classification. You can also classify it into religious and non-religious. Okay, so in the religious, these all will come: Buddhist, Jaina and Brahminical, and in the non-religious, the secular, Tamil and foreign accounts will come. So while categorizing like that, it is very difficult to treat the foreign accounts and the Tamil accounts which are written, and the main context of those texts are religious. So it will be difficult to put those sources into a particular category. So this is why I have categorized these sources into Brahminical and non-Brahminical. This is like this is a very easiest thing for me. So the Buddhist text actually include Tripitakas, Deepvansa, Mahavansa. In the last lecture also I told you these things. And in the secular text, we have some grammatical things, we have some works on medicine, we have some works on astronomy, we have some works on mathematics. So these, and we have also some works on statecraft like Nitisar and all. So these texts are important, and these texts are of secular nature. Similarly, in the Jaina literature also, we have a number of works which is having the religion or the Jaina religion as the main subject of those texts. Apart from that, we have some Tamil texts as well, and the Tamil text, we have categorized it on the basis of language. So many of the Tamil people are actually suppose that Tamil language is older than Sanskrit, and because of this, there is like north-south divide in the subcontinent. Still these things are prevalent. Okay, so we are not going into that debate. There is a debate on that. There is some of the text which was written, and there are some pictorial representation. When I was getting education in DU for my masters, I was learning about those things. So we are not going into that. The fifth category, non-Brahminical text, include the foreign accounts, and in the foreign accounts we will be dealing with that Greco-Roman accounts, we will be dealing with the Chinese account, we will be dealing with the Arab accounts. So Arab merchants, Chinese travelers, these people actually came. So let's get back to our discussion, and yeah, so here I intended to make a list for you, but instead of making the list to save the time, what I have done is I have just took up the table from my own book. Okay, so it is an unpublished book, so like I don't want you to share it with anyone, and you can just take the running note. So because of that publication things, I am not going to share this thing in the Telegram channel either on in the WhatsApp, so you can just take it as a running notes. Okay, so yeah, this is an unpublished thing. I don't know I have shared it with you or not. I'm going to write 3 or 4 volumes for UGC NET, and first volume is actually underway. Okay, and in the first volume I am going to write 14 chapters, which will be covering up to 12th century. So in the 14th chapter I have completed till now 7 chapters I have completed. Actually I'm in 8th chapter right now, and this project is actually delayed because of certain things. I was busy in my PhD, and a lot of things were going on simultaneously, so this project was on a halt. So after completing your 40 days target, again I will be getting back to complete that project. So after that publication I will be sharing each and everything like without any fear. Okay, so yeah, so you can take a running notes of this, and this list is still incomplete. So you can see that many times I have written in a number of times. See, these are all the writings which are supposed to which I am supposed to include in my list, which will be a part of my book. So yeah, let's discuss it, and later on I'll be also discussing about it separately. This like whatever categories we have categorized our text into, I'll be discussing it in like some of the text I'll be discussing from those categories as well. So but for your exam, this table is very precious and this table is very important. Okay, yeah, so let's get back to our discussion. And yeah, so the first author, which is Vishakadatta, and like it was 7th, 8th, 6th and 7th century author, and he wrote actually some of the works, and the works called Mudra Rakshas and Devi Chandragupta. So Mudra Rakshas and Devi Chandraguptam are very important for us. Mudra Rakshas actually deals with the detailed account of the Mauryan period. Okay, so like in the 7th century CE and in the 3rd century BCE. So it was also almost written after 1000 years of the decline of the Mauryas. So you can say that this was a kind of secondary sources for that time period, but this is having a very good description of the things which was in the time period of Mauryas. Devi Chandraguptam is actually about the initial years of Chandragupta II. So during the Gupta age, and there was a story in this book that Chandragupta II was actually he was supposed to follow his brother. Okay, so he was having an elder brother, and he was coronated, and because of that Indo Greeks and invasions from the western side and northwestern side, his empire was looted, and he was not able to control the whole area, and also his wife was also taken over by the rebels or the invaders. In quest of getting the whole empire or the part of the empire which was taken away by them, and also that his brother's wife also. So Chandragupta II was on an expedition. So because of that, he was very brave because of this on the basis of this story itself. So he was very brave, and he fought bravely, and he got back his brother's wife, and got back the empire also. So this whole story is actually narrated by Vishakadatta about the in his text Devi Chandraguptam. Apart from that, Rastarangini is a 12th century writing by Kalhan, and according to historians, this is the first and the most reliable source of history, of having a true historical nature in ancient India. Okay, so this is the first thing people of India actually wrote in a very systematic manner according to the historians. So Kalhan has actually written about a periodic or the chronologic history of Kashmir up to the 12th century, since the beginning. So this is called an important, this is also considered as an important source for history. Next is Katha Sarit Sagar of Somdev, and as you see, this was collection of legends and folk tales in the Sanskrit literature. So Somdeva has just compiled that legends and folk tales in Katha Sarit Sagar. As with this name, you can just associate the whole thing. Apart from that, Kama Sutra, you already know that this was a detailed account of worldly pleasure. It was about the sexual intercourse and a lot of things you can understand and you can learn from this book, but not here. Like for exam it is important, but in the real life also people read this book nowadays as well. Okay, apart from that, the next writer is Amog Varsa or Amod Varsa, whatever you call it, and he wrote Prashnottar Malika, and apart from that, it was in Prashnottar Malika was written in Sanskrit, and also he wrote Kavi Rajamarga, which was in Kannada literature. So around his time, the Kannada literature was actually flourishing. It was in the initial phase. So this text which was written in Kannada, it was a religious text, and apart from that, Bhas, you must have heard his name. He was one of the most important playwriters in ancient India. So he wrote total 13 plays, and most of them are actually famous. But for us, Swapna Vasav Dattam is very important because it shows the social structure of that particular time. So it was a drama, and it shows the social things of that time. Apart from that, Ashwaghosa wrote many works, and Buddha Charita, and actually it is a Buddhist text. Later on also I have mentioned it. So Ashwaghosa wrote Buddha Charita. Apart from that, he wrote Shraddhotpada Sastra and Mahalankara. So these two texts also he wrote, and I know it is very difficult to remember all the names, but some of these you can remember, and this is why I am telling you the stories and telling you the details of the book, because by details of the books you will be it will be easier for you to remember things, and it will be easier for you to associate things with that. So Natya Shastra, you must have heard about this text. This text was actually having all the detailed accounts of the classical dances. So how the classical dances evolved and what were the other things, the rules, the other aspects of dance was actually written by Bharat Muni. And in this text you will see that there are two different type of dances which was discussed in that, and the first is Lasya and second is Tandava. So in the first is actually a feminine in nature, and it is about beauty. The second is about the creative and destructive forces of Shiva. So Tandava means like it is not very it is actually a kind of violent thing. Okay, so these two were actually explained in Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra. A lot of classical dances were actually having roots in Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra. You must have, like, we have 8 classical dances, you must have know about that. Yeah, so second, next writer is Kalidas. You must have heard about this person. If you have not heard about it, I can't do anything, I can't help you, because you might have heard about Kalidasa, Bhas, Ashwaghosh. These people are very important for you. So Kalidas have written several plays, drama, and poetry also he wrote, but these six are very important for us. So these six include Avigyan Sakuntalam, Vikram Urvasi, Raghuvansham, Malvikagnimitra, and Kumar Sambhava, and last one is which is Meghdutam. So Meghdutam and Avigyan Sakuntalam was very famous at that time. All of six were actually famous, but these two were very famous, and later on also we find various references and a lot of references in the NCRTs also you'll find that. So these plays, these dramas actually gives an account of the social life prevailing at that time period. So this is why it is not a direct source of history, but this gives us idea of the social conditions of that age. Next is Amar Kosh. So whenever you are writing about anything related to agriculture, anything related to the vegetation pattern and the related aspects, you can just refer this book, Amar Kosh. In this book, Amar Simha has written about a wide range of information. He has provided a wide range of information about agricultural practices, soil type, and also that seasons of agriculture. Okay, so this was a detailed work on agriculture. So you can just remember it. Amar Kosha was written by Amar Simha, and it was having contents about the agriculture. Varahamihir, you must have heard this person's name, and Varahamihir's Panch Siddhantika and Brihad Samhita are very important. Panch Siddhantika deals with astronomy, while Brihad Samhita dealing with meteorological issues. So in Brihad Samhita, he actually has given about different aspects of Indian monsoon. So you can see that they were having a very good understanding of monsoon at that time, and all because of Varahamihir's Brihad Samhita. Next is Aryabhat or Aryabhatta, whatever you call it. So Aryabhat is also very important. Varahamihir, Aryabhat, these people actually belong to Guptais. Okay, so you must, whenever they will ask you for chronology, you can just associate these things with Guptais. Okay. So next person is Aryabhat, and Aryabhat wrote two accounts, Surya Siddhanta and Aryabhatta or Aryabhattiya. Okay, so this also is having different connotations, different names. So Aryabhat's contribution towards Indian mathematics is about algebra. Okay, so he gave various principles in algebra. He gave approximate value of pi, which is 3.1416. Okay, this value was given by him, and apart from that, he also make us understand about the place value of 0. Okay, or shunya. He also worked in various developing various theories about trigonometry. Okay, apart from this, his most important contribution was about propounding the idea of heliocentrism. Okay, you will see that most of the people in the 16th century also, 15th 16th century also, were thinking that sun actually revolves around earth. Okay, this is called geocentrism. But around 2000 years ago, 1500 years ago, Aryabhat said that this is not correct. Actually, sun is in the center and earth is revolving around it. So this was the heliocentrism view, and this was propounded by Aryabhat at that time. He also gives some explanations for ellipses or eclipse, whatever you call it. So solar and lunar eclipses were actually defined by him, and he make us understand about various things. Next is Vishnu Sharma's Panchtantra. You must have read some of the stories from Panchtantra or Panchtantra. So this was a collection of stories. Next is Kadambaka's Niti Shastra, and Niti Shastra was actually a rule book for political affairs. It was considered as the encyclopedia of the political ethics at the time. Okay, this is foreign account, Megasthenes' work, and it was called Indica. And Indica currently is not in original format, and we find the references of Indica in other Indo-Greek sources. So this is why this text originally doesn't exist now. Okay, but we find the references of this book in the Greek literature. So in the Greek literature they refer Indica, that this was written in Indica. Okay, Megasthenes Indica. So this is why we know about this book, but this book is not like right now it is not available. So this book gives a vivid account of the Indian society and urban pattern, especially of Patliputra, and because Megasthenes actually came to Patliputra, he divided Indian society into 7 categories. Okay, instead of 4, like fourfold Varna system was functioning at that time. So he actually categorized Indian society based on profession. So according to him, each profession representing one particular class. Okay, so this is the most important thing you needed to know. And next is Kautilya's Earth Shastra. This is also an important work, and sometimes they ask about the subject matter of Earth Shastra. Okay, so there are a lot of things which Kautilya has actually discussed in Earth Shastra, but yeah, here you'll see that first thing is nature of government, second thing duties and obligation of the king, civil and criminal court system like judiciary system, and theories of war, peace, ethics, economics, markets, trade. All of these things were the subject matter of Earth Shastra. So it was encompassing the disciplines, encompassing the domain, and Kautilya has given a lot of moral obligation to the king as well. Yeah, so this was a politico-economic discourse on Mauryan age. Apart from that, Sushrut has written Sushrut Samhita. You can just relate it with the name, and this was a detailed book on dealing with the surgery. So in ancient time also the surgery was like it was not so common, but it was possible to do surgery at that time based on that Sushrut's work. One more thing you'll need to know, that Palkava or Palkapya actually wrote Hasta Ayurveda. Hast from, like, you can just associate, this is all about elephant. So this text was actually dealing with the disease and treatment of elephants. So at that time, and this was also belonging to somewhere between or somewhere around the Gupta age. So because of that, you can just deduce that at that time period of Guptas, elephants were having a very important role to play, because this is why this whole text was written on the health issues of the elephants. Next work is Charak Samhita by Charak, and it was dealing with the ancient medicine and ancient medicine system. Bhaskar II Lilavati was treatise on mathematics. So Lilavati was also dealing with the mathematics, and this also belonged to the Gupta age. And next is Harshavardhana. Okay, you must have heard his name around, like, in the 6th, 7th century, 7th, 8th century. He was ruling, and he made Kannauj his capital, and now the power was shifting from Patliputra to Kannauj. So after 1,000 years of history of Patliputra, now the capital shifted to Kannauj. So by this name you can just remember all the things. And yeah, so Harshvardhana actually wrote 3 works, and these 3 works actually were plays or the drama, and these were Nagananda, Ratnavali and Priyadarshika. So these were plays written by Harshvardhana. Whenever you will find this name with these book names, you just match that column. And next is Banbhat, and Banbhat actually wrote Harshcharita and Kadambari was one of the earliest novels which was written in ancient India, and Harshcharita is the biography of Harshvardhana. So he was contemporary to Harshvardhana. Banbhat was contemporary to Harshvardhana. Many a times they ask the question to match the people with the contemporary age. Next person is Panini, and Panini's Ashtadhyayi is very important, and Patanjali's Mahabhasya is also important, and both of these works were actually a treatise on grammar. And Mrichkatika was written by Shudraka, Geet Govind was written by Jayadev, Navaratna was written by Veersena. Veersena was also writing Haribhadra Suri. He wrote Haribhadra Suri, and which was a Jaina text. So this was the whole thing you needed to remember, and apart from that, few more things you need to remember. Not all of this which I have written, but as I said, I'll be dealing all these things in a separate section, and because of that, first I'll be discussing about Buddhist sources, and many of things will be repeating from the earlier list. So Ashwaghosa's work, Buddhist Charita, you already heard that in like 5-10 minutes ago, and Sundarananda, Sutralankara, Sriputra Prakarana, Vajra Suchi, these 4-5 works were written by Ashwaghosh. One more writer is Nagarjuna, you must have heard his name. Nagarjuna actually wrote Madhyamika Siddhanta, and next Madhyamika Sutralankara. Next he wrote actually 4, and the third one was Sadharma Purandarika, and actually 5, not 4, and all of these I have written here. You can just go through it. So next person is Vasubandhu, and Vasubandhu actually wrote Abhidharma Kosa, and this was Abhidharma Kosa is actually important for you, and Vasubandhu is also important for you, because Abhidharma Kosa was actually the first dictionary on Buddhist philosophy. So this is why it is important to note this book, and this will help you. Next is Buddha Ghosh, and you must have heard his name as well if you have read enough Buddhism and Jainism things. Buddha Ghosh written 3 works, and the first one was Vishuddhi Marga or Vishuddhi Marga, and the second is Sumangala Vansi. The third one is Athar Kathayan. So these 3 works were written by him, and you don't need to remember all of these works. So only whatever I am telling you, this is important, you just need to remember those. They can ask anything, but you have limitation of remembering the facts, and this is why I am dealing these facts in a separate lectures, in a very precise manner, in a very systematic manner, so that you can remember things easily. But if you are thinking that you will be just going through it at a time, and within one day you will be watching all the lectures, and you will be just able to go in the exam and remember all the things, it is not going to happen, believe me, because digesting this much of facts is also important. This is why I am just keeping my lectures till 40-50 minutes only, because you won't be able to grasp all of these facts if I will be putting in 2 hours lecture of all the facts and things. And these classes are not meant to make you understand each and everything. This is having a special purpose of making you qualify for NET and JRF. So the things which they are asking on a continuous basis, only those things we are going to discuss. So not each and everything we are going to discuss which is mentioned in the syllabus and which is like a part of our history syllabus. So the thing is, you need to watch these videos on everyday basis. Every day I'll be uploading these videos around 5 to 6 p.m. and every day you should make a habit of watching these videos, and that will help you, because as I said, it is not possible to grasp all of the facts in a day. So you need to watch these videos again and again. You don't need to write, even you don't need to write anything. You just watch these videos. You don't need to write, read also anything. Just watch these videos multiple times, so that you will remember each and everything in your muscle memory. Okay, so if you practice this again and again, it will be in your muscle memory. So this is why it is important. So I'll suggest you to watch these videos on a everyday basis. Every day I'll be uploading these videos at 5:30, 6 p.m. like that. Whenever I'll be having time, I'll just upload it. And yeah, so let's continue. It was all about the discipline you need to follow. You don't need to like read for 8 hours, 10 hours like that. I'm just asking you to watch this video in 1 hour. That is enough. That is more than enough. Every day you just, and on Sundays you can just revise like you can watch these videos in 2x speed, 1.5x speed. In YouTube you are having many functions, so don't worry. Whatever, like if I'm giving you 40 minutes lecture, you will be able to watch it in 35 minutes, 25 minutes, based on your own listening ability. So let's continue then. The thing is, like, the next person is Dharmakirti, who wrote Nyaya Bindu, and the next person is Diganaga, and Diganaga also is important. So you have to remember his work, which is Pramana Samuchaya. So this work is actually introduction of, like, it introduced the theory of logic into Buddhism. Okay, this is why it is important. Yeah, next is I actually forgot to mention one more Buddhist text here. Okay, so it is Milind Panha. You must have heard, this is a very popular Buddhist text. So Milind Panha was actually written by Nagsen, and Nagasena was this book is all about a conversation between Indo-Greek king Menander and Nagasen. So this compilation came as a book called Milind Panha. Okay, let's go to the Jaina literature. So Jaina literature, in the Jaina 4-5 literature you need to remember, and I'll be just highlighting those persons and names. So Ratna Karanda is also important, and next Silpadikaran, which is, you can also Silpadikaran and Sivak Chintamani, you can include it in the Jaina literature also, and in Tamil literature also, because these texts were written in Tamil language. Okay, so I have written the names here, and Acharya Kunund actually wrote the philosophical treatise called Samayasara and Niyamasara. So these two texts were philosophical things on Jainism, and this was written by Kundakund. So Tamil literature, apart from those 2-3 Tamil literature, I have also written. See, there are a lot of Tamil literature, but please don't get offended by that. So there are a lot of Tamil literature, but you won't be able to remember all those. So the thing is, you should remember at least 5-6 important Tamil literature. Okay, and you already, like, if you know the differences between Akam and Puram, and you are familiar with the Bhakti movement in South India, and that the text, the poetries which were compiled by the Alvars and Nayanars and So you can just use your peripheral knowledge, and by using peripheral knowledge you can just eliminate the options while you are solving the paper in the exam. Okay, for now, like I won't suggest you to mug up each and everything. So the most important 4-5 texts are Silpadikaran, Shivak Chintamani. Shivak Chintamani was written by Tiruta and the Silpadikaran was written by Ilango Adigal. Okay, so there is one hostel name with Ilango Adigal in our university. You must have heard about that, Ilango Adigal. I was also staying there. So Silpadikaran is actually the morality in Jainism. So next text is Manime Kalai, and Manime Kalai was written by Sattanar. Okay, so you can just if you want to, you can read whole of his name, but Sattanar you just remember by that name also. Next is Tolka PM, and Tolka PM was written by Tolka PU. Okay, so let's see, with the same name. And also you must have heard about this text. This was a grammar in Tamil. So this was a text of Tamil grammar. Okay, Kundal Kesi was written by Nath Kuthanar. Okay, so these texts were the most important text for your exam. So there is a change in plan. So most of the foreign travelers who gave a vivid account of India came actually in the time period of Vijayanagar and Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so it will be like very easy for us to include all the foreign travelers, foreign accounts from ancient to medieval. Okay, so in the next lecture, when we will be dealing about the sources of medieval India, I'll just include the ancient travelers also there while we will be discussing about foreign accounts in that section. Okay, so actually I plan to do it here only, but here we don't have time. It is already like more than 40 minutes, and also it will be very difficult for you to understand. So because already you have this much of facts to remember, okay, here. So I hope all of you have made a running notes of this, and this will be very important for you. Then running notes is very important, like which I'll tell you that running notes is very important if you want to make notes. Otherwise you just watch the videos again and again, that will also do. So yeah, so for now actually we are done, and as you know, many of you are preparing for this August-September paper, and these lectures also these lectures are evergreen. Whenever you want to go into the exam, like you don't have this much of time, like 6 months to prepare, you just watch these videos in 15-20 days, two videos in a day, and it will do a tremendous work. But that will work only if you have a better understanding of the syllabus, better understanding of the things, and you have already done all these things earlier. Okay, so I won't suggest you to watch 2 videos in a day, 2-3 videos in a day, if you have not watched it earlier. So 2-3 videos in a day will do once you have completed all the 30-35-40 videos. Okay, because this much of fact I am putting here, it is not possible for me also to remember. Okay, so but one thing is clear, that if you will see the options in the exam, you will immediately remember, you will immediately associate the things with the class. If you have that pictographic image of the class when like whatever I am discussing here, so it will be in your muscle memory. Whenever you will see a question, you will just jump into the answer. So that thing I can guarantee you. And yeah, the rituals remain same, that whenever you will see any person who is preparing for UGC NET exam, and also in history or maybe in the other subject, so to the other subject people, you can just share the paper 1 lectures, and for the history people, you can just share all the videos, you can just share my YouTube channel also. So because of that, it is not like I am not getting anything from this, but I just want to become a better self of my own teaching style. So uh, for practice only I am just doing all these things, and if this will help someone, then that will be very good for us as well. So it is helping you, and it will help someone else as well. So for now I am signing it off, and as you know, my name is Amod Kumar, and all the best for your exams. Thank you.